I'm the Africa representative for Carleton University for the undergraduate program. And we've worked with Maple for a long period of time. And I can tell you that Maple is one of the organizations that we have trusted for so long.
Yeah, phone number. Where's your phone?
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just dive in. My name is Udoh, and I represent Carleton University in Africa. Now, I'm not going to stay too long because, Katelyn is waiting to talk about the postgraduate program. So this is Carleton. Welcome to Carleton University. We are located in Ottawa, in Ontario. Now, I want to talk about why Canada, but I won't waste much time on that because we already know why people want to troop into Canada. It's a good country, internationally recognized, high quality institutions, and all of that, employment opportunities. So these are the reasons why a lot of people like to troop, and study in Canada. This is a view of what Ottawa looks like. And yeah, the Carleton community. Now I usually hear questions like parents will always ask. I'm coming from the undergraduate, point of view. Parents will always ask, what's the ratio between undergraduate students, between home students, and international students. And I understand that parents want their kids to feel at home, to have a bit of the African thing in there. And Carleton has that. Carleton has a very strong West Africa community in Carleton. So your kids are safe. You're sure to meet other Africa or West African students in Carleton. So why Carleton? We have broad choice of programs, flexibility, so you can major and minor in different programs of your choice. Top 10 in employability, hands-on and experiential learning opportunities. So if you're a student that is looking to study a course that has a lot of practicals and all of that, Carleton has all the facilities that you need, to carry out all the practicals that you need while you're studying. Flexible programs. So we are happy to tell you that we are very flexible when it comes to our programs. Now, the fact that you're able to major in your field, say, for example, a student will come and say, oh, I want to study engineering, but I love to do something outside engineering. So Carleton gives you the opportunity to study your major, which is engineering, and then minor in something else, and then have a combined degree, right? So that's one thing that one advantage that Carleton has. And I advise students to, tap into this advantage and apply to study in Carleton today. I'm moving really quick because of Katelyn. I don't want to spend so much time,
Don't worry, Annie. Yeah. You can spend as much time as you want.
As I can.
We will be overlapping. So whatever the majority population is here. So I'm not sure if it's undergrad or grad, so don't feel that you have to rush. No worries.
Okay, so that's fine. Thank you, Katelyn. Okay, let's move a bit.
Is Carleton a public or private university?
It's a public university.
But
Did I answer the question, please?
Hello all, please, we will then be taking questions at the end of the webinar. Please save your questions. You can leave them in the chat box so that once they're both done, they will take your questions one after the other. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eunice.
You can continue. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. So I said earlier that we have a wide range of programs, undergraduate programs at Carleton. You can see here that we have about 22 undergraduate degree programs, ranging from architectural studies, arts, commerce, and the list goes on. And then under these undergraduate programs, we have other programs under where you can minor and then major. I'll give you, for example, let's go to the next slide. Bachelor of Arts. This is just an example because we have Bachelor of Engineering and the others. But under the Bachelor of Arts, we have African Study, we have we have Arts, History, we have Biology, we have Canadian Studies, we have English, and the list goes on. So when I say that Carleton has a wide range of programs, believe me that yes, we do have. And you can never run out of options while in Carleton. If you want to switch to other programs, yes, you can. You can never run out of options because we have so many programs to suit your needs. Let's move a bit. So science, under sciences, we have computer science, we have health sciences, we have mathematics, and we have science. Engineering, you can see this for yourself, engineering and all of that. So these are just examples of the courses. Now, for the female students, engineering students, we have to encourage women in engineering. So we have a community where women who study engineering can join and be a part and be encouraged, to join the engineering community. So for all the females that are here and are thinking, can I study engineering? Is this something I can do? Yes, you can. So there's a way we encourage you to go ahead and study engineering. Learning, hands-on learning. So there's something called co-op. So when I go out for fairs, I hear a lot of students ask, what is co-op? How does it work? And all of that. So it's called cooperative education. It's a paid internship for a year. It's a work paid internship for a year for undergraduate students. If you're doing a 4-year program, if you're doing a 4-year program and you picked co-op during your application, now it means that your stay in school is going to be more than 4 years because of your co-op year. Now, let's say your co-op year is in your 3rd year, in your 300 level. After either your first year in 300 level, you decide to go for your co-op for 8 months, which is 1 year, and you get paid. Come back to school and complete your final year. I hope that makes sense. But if you have any question there, please keep your question regarding co-op, and we'll come back to that. So we also have research placement, field work, and so on. Back to co-op. So because we pride in co-op, and student gets to work in good organizations. So we like to talk about our co-op placement and all of that. So you gain like 12 to 16 months of work experience, but usually it's 12 months, which is 1 year. And this is how much you can earn working for 1 year per hour, okay? Working for 1 year. So I usually, the Canada environment loves that students have experience, love that people have work experience, okay? And I usually tell students, it is important that you try to gain experience before you graduate, because guess what? It gives you an edge when you're done with school and you want to look for a job out there in Canada. So it gives you an edge. You already have 1 year experience over someone who never did co-op. Now, co-op is not compulsory. I'll say that again. Co-op is not compulsory. You can decide not to do co-op, but I would advise that you take up co-op while studying. Now, please take note that during your application, make sure to fill the part. So there's usually a question where co-op option, and then you pick yes or no. So it is important that you select the option yes if you're interested in co-op. You select the option yes while putting in your application for an undergraduate program. That way, it's in the system that you're interested in our co-op program. I hope that is understood, but if not, you can keep your question for when we go. So these are the organizations that we work with and can place students in a co-op program. So I guess students asking me questions like, with the school, I went for a fair recently, and the students were like, oh, Miss Ini, will the school help or assist you in getting a co-op placement? So yes, there is a team that can help and assist you in getting a co-op placement. So there's an office in Carleton that can help you do that. So these are all of the companies or employers that you can be placed in. Yes, let's talk about tuition. Our tuition fee ranges from 30 to 46,152 Canadian dollars, depending on your program. Please note, this is depending on your program. So if you're an engineering student, you should be looking to pay. Engineering is one of the most expensive programs in Canada. So you should be looking to pay like 40 to 46,000 thereabouts for an engineering course. And then other courses are just in between 30, okay, to 45,000. Living expenses, 11,000. Now, living expenses will include meal plan. Your accommodation, how much you pay for accommodation will be dependent on the type of residence that you choose. Are you picking a shared room or a single room? Is your meal plan thrice a day or twice a day? So whatever you pick will determine how much you pay for both residence and meal plan. So scholarships, so we have over 28 billion. So we had, as at 2020 and 2021 in bursary awarded for scholarship. So entrance scholarship. So let's talk about, first of all, before I talk about entrance scholarship, I'd like to talk about admission requirements. For Carleton, we look at A's and B's. However, if you have other grades from your high school and then your WIAC grades, it would determine if you're going to get the program you applied for, or might be given another option if you don't qualify, or if your grades do not merit the initial program that you applied for. I'll take, for example, I have a student currently who had applied for engineering. She had good grades, but unfortunately, it was not enough to get her into an engineering program. So she was given computer science or something in the sciences. Now, it is important that your grades are good to fetch you whatever program that you apply for. So she'll be looking at A's and B's in your WIAC. Now, the grades that we take at Carleton for West African students, we take WIAC. If you're an IGCSE student, your IGCSE result goes alongside your A-levels. So 3 courses in A-levels and 4 subjects in AS level and 3 subjects in A-levels alongside your IGCSE. Now, IGCSE cannot stand alone, please. I'll say that again. If you're an IGCSE student, IGCSE cannot stand alone to get you an offer. You either have your A-levels and AS level, it goes alongside. And then WIAC stands alone. With WIAC, we don't need any other results. And with your OSSD, very important. If you're an OSSD student, you're good to go. Now let's talk about our entrance scholarship. We have, so if your average, like I said, A's and B's, we look at A's and B's. So if your average is around 95 to 100%, which is the A stars. I know they have A stars, they have A's, they have B2, they have B3, they have C and C4 and C6. So whatever you fall in between here will determine how much scholarship you get. Now for first year, you get 4,000 and you get 4,000 subsequently, okay? So for the 4 years that you study, you get 16,000 Canadian dollars for 4 years. if you're an A-star student. So if you have a mix of both, or both A's and B's, and like that, so 90 to 94%, you get 12,000. 85 to 89%, you get 8,000 for 4 years. 80 to 84%, you get 4,000. That is 1,000 every year. Okay. So if you're an IB student, these are the scores that you need to have access to all of our scholarship. Now, note that these scholarships are merit-based. What do I mean? You do not need to apply for this scholarship. This scholarship comes as soon as you submit your application to apply to Carleton University. All we need to do is assess your transcript, assess your grades, WAEC grades, IGCSE and A-level grades, whatever you have, we assess it and we determine what
Please hold on. Hi, Ini, are you there? Do you have network issues?
No, we might have lost her for a minute. Do you want to wait for a few minutes or a few seconds and see if she comes back? And then if not, I can start on the grad material.
Okay, let's give her 2 to 3 minutes to come back.
Sure.
Hello.
Well, I don't mind starting on the grad material if we want to wait for Annie to come back. If she does come back, then we can maybe pivot back to undergrad briefly.
Okay,
But
that's
I can
fine.
start if that works. Okay.
That's fine, it works.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Katelyn. I'm the Graduate Promotion Recruitment and Outreach Officer here at the Sprott School of Business, and really excited to be here today with Maple Education. As it stands, we currently have an official partnership with Maple on 2 of our major graduate programs, which are the MBA and the Master of Finance. So I will take a few minutes today to go through the major key features of both of the programs. And he's done a great job at kind of highlighting the benefits of studying in Canada and studying at Carleton specifically. I guess one of the things I'll start off with as well before we continue, and I'm sure something that's probably on everybody's mind in terms of studying in Canada, is the recent announcements about the study permit restrictions in Canada. And one thing I'll say at the graduate level is that these restrictions are only in place for undergraduate students and not for graduate students. So for anybody who's interested in studying at the graduate level in Canada, your visa processes and application processes will not be impacted by the recent changes that are happening and restrictions that are happening only at the undergraduate level. So from what I understand, students will not be required to produce attestation letters, so it shouldn't slow down your visa process. And also students will not be restricted in any way. So I hope that clears any doubts you may have had about if that's a question you had about studying in Canada at the graduate level. Oh, I see that Innie is back. Okay. I think Innie is back, so maybe I'll give her the option to see if she wants to continue.
So
Okay.
so sorry about that. I don't know what went wrong.
Yeah, no
I think my
problem.
connection, yeah.
No problem. I started with an intro to graduate studies, but I haven't started in any major kind of context yet. So did you want to finish off with undergrad and then we can move on?
Okay. I think I should finish up with the undergraduate presentation, and
Sure.
then yeah.
Okay.
Can you see my screen now? Yes. Okay. I'm trying to go back to where co-op. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to go back to where we had the last. Give me a minute, please. Okay, so I was talking about funding your studies, okay? So I know that a lot of students always say that they want to start working when they get to first year, they want to go into getting a job and all of that. But trust me, I would advise any parent and student listening to me today that I don't think it's advisable to work first year, because I mean, the reason why you're in school is to study. So I advise that you study and get your grades in place. First year, second year, make sure that your grades are up there, because I mean, at the end of the day, if you're graduating with a bad grades, it might be difficult finding good jobs. But if your grades are good, which is the reason why you're out in Carleton to study, lucky you have good jobs after graduating. So it's best to focus on your studies first year, second year, and then you can start looking for part-time work to support your parents. I mean, your parents are always there to help you with tuition, first year, second year. And so that's what I advise anytime, any day. And then you get your 1 year co-op, your 1 year paid co-op placement to add to whatever you've gotten while you're studying. Academic performance is key. Like I said, requirements vary by programs. It is best that your academic performance is up there while you're in high school or your OSSD program, or you're in a sixth form school, whatever it is, it's best that your academic grades are on point, just so that you can have access to the program that you applied for and not getting options. You know what I mean? Okay, so we do not require references, personal statements, SATs. No, we do not require all of that. If your WAEC is good, if your English is good, please, very important. We take pride in English a lot. If your English in WAEC is good for you. But I mean, if you have a D7 in English, a C6, you might be asked to do English first year in Carleton or provide an IELTS result. But on a normal circumstance, we do not request for IELTS results from undergraduate students, except your grades in English are not good. But if your grades are good, A's, B's, You do not require, we do not require any of this. The SAT, personal statement, references, no, we do not require them. So English requirement, like I said, if your English in WAEC is not good, this is what we might now need from you. So we have support, academic support, employability, wellness. Wellness to us is key because you have a lot of students going to school and saying that they're depressed and all of that. But at Carleton, we take your wellness as important. We take your health very important, and we make sure that there are facilities to take care of you, that we have counseling units if you need any form of counseling or advice. Are top notch. If you're having issues with your health, we are there for you. Academic support, we have workshops, we have peer study sections, and how to tailor your degree, and how to develop your skills. So these are sections that will help you while you're studying in school. So employability support, co-op internship, we support students to get co-op internship and all of that, job search, networking, interviews, volunteer opportunities, and all of that. So Carleton has a very good support system for international students. And I will advise every student that is here to put in an application, please put in an application today, because out there in Carleton, you are never left alone. So there's a support system for you in every area that you need support. Settling in. So we usually have a pre-departure seminar for students. There's orientation, there's fun. Every first year student wants to, experience that fun time, orientation and all of that. Yes, you have all of that when you come to Carleton. I said earlier, peer support group, that is also available for you. Wellness. Medical clinic, I said that. Free counseling, I said that earlier, your health, your wellness. These things are very important to us because we understand that if you're well, if your mindset is well, you are able to support and come out successful in school. So we support students with disabilities also. Residents, I said earlier that the kind of residents that you choose will determine how much you pay for residents. Our residents are top-notch, good, affordable accommodation for you. All first-year students are guaranteed residents. All first-year students are guaranteed residents. You can't come in as a first-year student and be stranded in Carleton, no. You are guaranteed residents. However, you need to put in an application for your residence as early as possible, okay? Very important, and just pay the application fee for residents. Food. I wouldn't say that we have Nigerian food in Carleton, but we have good foods for you. We have very good food for you at Carleton. Sports, for those of you that like games and all of it, Carleton is there for you. Clubs and societies, very important. I hear students ask for, are there clubs that we can join? Are there debate clubs, this and that? Yes, we have all of them. Cultural student associations, faith groups, political groups, special interest groups, and the list goes on. So you make the most of your university experience. You can see our debates team here in this slide, on this slide. So yeah, we have all of these clubs and societies for you to take advantage of. So I think this is the end of my presentation. And if you have any question, let me know. You have a question, I can see a hand up there. And if you need any other thing, please, Carleton is there to help you with your application. They've been Maple is there to help you with the application. They've been doing this for a long period, over 20 years, and I'm sure that they can put you through your application. Can I get questions now before Katelyn takes over and present? Can you unmute? Adamu, can you unmute something?
Hi, Ini. I think it's best if they
Please.
leave their messages
Okay.
in the chat, and then at the end of everything,
Okay.
you can individually attend to the questions that directly concern you.
All right,
I
that's
think
good.
that's best, so you can conserve some more time.
All right. Do we want to move on to grad then?
Yes, yes, please.
Well, okay, perfect. Sounds good. Okay, so for those of you who maybe just came in, I'll do a reintroduction of myself. My name is Katelyn. I'm the Graduate Promotion, Recruitment, and Outreach Officer here at the Sprott School of Business. I'm happy to be here with Maple Education. Because some of you may know, we do have an official partnership with Maple on 2 of our professional graduate programs, which are the MBA and the Master of Finance. I'll say it again for anybody who may be new and maybe just joining us now. The first thing I'll address before I get into the presentation is the recent kind of restrictions that were announced in Canada. And I just want to ease anybody's mind to let you know that those restrictions are only applicable for undergraduate students and not for graduate students. So anybody who's interested in studying at the grad level, your application process and visa processes should not change. Your postgraduate work permit prospects also shouldn't change, as Carleton as a whole is a public institution. So all our graduate students will still be eligible for work permits upon graduation, but know that the recent study permit restrictions do not apply to master's students. So with that, I'll get started with our specifically information about our grad program. So I will just share my screen quickly. So Ini did a great job of kind of highlighting Carleton as a whole in Canada and just highlighting some of the main reasons why students generally come to study with us at Carleton and in Canada as a whole. So I'll be talking more specifically about the Sprott School of Business, but first off, I'll provide kind of students with a general bird's eye view of our campus. So in terms of where we're located, so for those of you who may not know, Ottawa is the nation's capital of Canada, and with that, there's a lot of really unique opportunities for students who are looking to study in Canada. Our campus is about 15 minutes away from the downtown core. We're about 15 minutes. We have a pretty strong public transit system that comes onto our campus. So for anybody who may want to visit downtown to sightsee, or if you happen to get a job downtown, it's really easy for you to get off campus and go downtown just with one bus. Carleton University is a public institution, and we're considered medium-sized by Canadian standards. There's about 30,000 students as a whole on our campus, with about 28,000 of those being undergraduate students and 4,000 being graduate students. We are a full-fledged, very well-developed institution. And as you can see here, all of our buildings are kind of combined here. So we really pride ourselves on providing students with a campus experience, meaning that it's very obvious when you come onto campus where you are. So we're definitely not a campus where people from the public or anything like that can wander onto campus by accident. It's very obvious when you're coming onto campus. So I really love that during my experience at Carleton, just knowing that Carleton is big enough for you to recognize your friends and run into probably somebody that you know every day, but also big enough that you could make a new friend every day if you wanted to as well. So now moving on more specifically to the Sprott School of Business. So this picture here is the picture of our brand new nickel building that, as it stands, is the current currently the newest academic building on campus. So the Nickel building opened in fall 2021. It's where all of our business programs run from full-time, including the MBA and the Master of Finance as well. So with that being one of the newest buildings on campus, we have many of the newest resources for students. These include high flex classrooms and innovative learning spaces, facilities for experiential learning, research and community initiatives. We also have a dedicated MBA lounge space for students. So it's always a guaranteed spot where you know that you can go to study. It's located on the 6th floor of the Nickel building. We have a total of 7 floors. So the 6th floor is a full room in the back of the back of the building that you always know is a space for you to study and chat with your classmates about any projects you might be working on. Here at the Sprott School of Business, we're very fortunate to have world-class and internationally accredited faculty members who teach as part of the MBA and the Master of Finance. Our professors and faculty are top ranked in Canada for student experience. And also award-winning. You can note as well that the Sprott School of Business is AACSB accredited. So AACSB stands for the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business. So most good business schools in Canada will be AACSB accredited. We're very fortunate to just had our reaccreditation approved. And also, most good business schools in Canada will be AACSB accredited. And of course, with the Sprott School of Business being a high-tier business school in Canada, we are accredited. We're also NIBS accredited, which stands for the Network of International Business Schools. We're only one of 2 in Canada and only one in Ontario to be NIBS accredited. Okay, so why the Sprott MBA and what specifically about our program makes it unique and attractive for students? One of the main things I tell students about our MBA is that our MBA is designed to accelerate the careers of aspiring professionals from any academic background. So it means that students do not have to have a business background to apply to our MBA program. We see students come from a number of different industries like engineering and some from business or medicine. So you'll certainly get a wide range of students in the MBA program. So we have the weekday full-time MBA program, which is generally the most suitable program for international students. The MBA program has 3 concentration options available, which are business analytics, which generally is our more popular option. This program is essentially our data analytics specialization. So the business analytics concentration is offered in conjunction with the data sciences department. So students will be in classes with those data science students and getting that information really firsthand. You have the management and change and financial management concentrations that students can choose from as well. Our program is a 16-month program, which is generally on the shorter side of MBAs compared to what else you'll find. So we have an intake that starts in September and then finishes the following December. This 16-month program also includes a 16-week summer internship. So it's about a 4-month internship in the summer with a range of options that can include a consulting experience, entrepreneurship experience, or a traditional experience. So students have the opportunity to gain real-world experience while completing their degree. You may have noted that I didn't mention work experience, and that work experience actually is not a requirement for our MBA program. And the main reason for that being is that students are gaining work experience as part of the program through the internship component. So you do not need to have a business background to apply to our MBA program, and you also do not need work experience. We find that students generally sometimes come into the program with about 2 or so years of work experience, and while that's certainly valued, again, it's not mandatory and would not negatively impact your application in any way. We're very fortunate to have great employment statistics post graduation for our MBA as well. Strong, consistently in the 90% range within a year of graduation since 2018. So most recently, over 94% of our MBA graduates have been employed within a year of graduation. These are some of the organizations that we work with that I know that Innie highlighted as well. A lot of them are campus-wide. So of course, being in the nation's capital, we have a lot of different connections with government agencies in our city. A lot of strong connections there. Also, for those of you who may not know, Ottawa is actually home to Canada's largest tech park located in Canada North. So with that, there's a large number of very well reputable technological organizations. And we at the Sprott School of Business have a physical presence in Canada North to ensure that students have the opportunity to network with these organizations firsthand. So this kind of highlights our space in Canada North, where there are a lot of major tech industries that are there and a lot of really great innovation work that's happening in Canada. And we want to make sure our students are the first to see it. So we have our space that's located there. And I've seen students have the opportunity to take the initiative to go out to Canada, make impactful relationships, and then have that turn into an internship and then later a job. So it's a really great opportunity for students. So now quickly highlighting the MBA journey that students will go through as part of the program. I'm just going to check out my time. So I'll just give you a quick overview of what basically your course outline will look like as an MBA student. So this is essentially your full 16 months in one picture here. So you have the fall, which goes September to December. Then you'll have a break for Christmas. Then you go January to April. May to August will be your internship. And then one final semester from September to December before you're fully done your classes. So most of the classes that you see here, anything in black or red, are your core courses. So no matter what concentration you choose, these are the courses that you'll be enrolled in. One major differentiating factor that I generally tell students about graduate programs that makes it distinct from undergraduate programs is that you'll see we have the full semester here. At Carleton, generally 0.5 of a credit represents a full semester long class. But you'll notice, so you have a few 0.5 level credits initially, but you'll notice that most of them are actually 0.25, which means that the courses are basically, you're going through content and finishing courses in about 6 weeks. So it makes the course quite quick, and it's one thing that makes our MBA program and graduate programs academically rigorous, because you're moving through content quite quickly. But that allows students to gain even more information and even more experience in the MBA program. Moving on here, you have the example of the business analytics specialization. So essentially your electives would just get filled up with concentration specific classes. You have your management and change specialization here. So more of the management and leadership oriented classes here. And then finally, financial management. So you have your financial management oriented classes here. So now I'm going to skip over these slides and move on to our entrance requirements. So generally for admissions to our weekday MBA program, we generally require an honors or four-year bachelor's degree with a GPA of B or higher. So I don't know, your Maple Education would definitely know what the equivalency is in your region, but we do have full equivalency lists on our website as well. We have generally require a professional resume, a personal statement of intent, and 2 academic and professional references. Now, traditionally as well, for the weekday MBA program, we typically request a GMAT or GRE test score from students. However, students who work with Maple Education to submit their application will get access to a GMAT waiver. So as long as you're working with Maple and they help you submit your application, then you will not have to write the GMAT test. Additionally, one other thing I'll mention as well is that students who work with Maple Education will also get access to an application fee waiver for their application. So that will be valued at about $160 Canadian. As long as you work with Maple, you will not have to pay your application fee with us. Okay. So cost and fees. So Carleton University and the Sprott School of Business currently offer one of the most affordable MBA degrees in the country. For international students, you're looking at about $70,000 for the full program. Domestic students will be looking at about $20,000. So I definitely encourage you all, if you're considering an MBA and looking to do your research, $70,000 is really one of the most competitive prices that you'll find for an MBA. Carleton University, at least at a public institution. And I will say that public institutions are really the gold standard of education in Canada. So if you're looking for a degree that will be reputable for years beyond your degree from when you graduate, certainly one from a public institution will be much more reputable with employers than from private industry. So if anybody again is considering MBA, this is really one of the most competitive prices that you'll find. And so I encourage you to really encourage you to consider submitting an application with us for an MBA program. In terms of scholarships, we do offer some scholarships to strong MBA applicants. This is based on academic performance and previous degrees and other criteria. Additionally, we have other merit-based scholarships that are awarded to top program students during the fall academic term. So there are some scholarships available, not many, but the ones that are available are based on academic merit. And finally, application deadlines. So the international deadline for the MBA students is coming up as of March 1st. However, again, noting the visa processes and changes that are coming to the system, we always encourage students to apply as early as possible, especially considering you do not have to write the GMAT test. I know that's a major kind of a major aspect of any MBA application and the thing that probably takes the most time. So considering you don't have to do it, I would encourage you to submit your application as soon as possible. Although the visa changes will not be applicable at the master's level, there's still no way to know if the system will be quick or not. But I encourage you that working with Maple Education, we do our best to streamline your applications as fast as possible. Our applications are located directly on our website on Carleton 360. So I think students have the option to apply via Carleton 360 or UAC at the undergraduate level, but for us, it's only via Carleton 360. So you can start an application on our website. You don't have to finish it all in one sitting, but that is an option for students. Okay, and that's most of the information that I have on the MBA program. If you have the time, I'm happy to go through the Master of Finance very quickly. A lot of the information is similar. Did we have interest to go through, spend about 5 minutes going through the Master of Finance? Yeah. Okay. I'll pull up the Master of Finance very quickly, just to, again, because it's quick. A lot of the information, the admissions criteria is pretty similar between the two. Okay. So the Master of Finance is really something that we're really excited about because it is a new offering to our school. So the Master of Finance was just launched in September 2023. So our first class is going through the program right now and hasn't graduated yet, but they've certainly been enjoying the program from what I understand. Going through, I've already covered all of this information. So why the Master of Finance program? So our program is unique, and one of the major selling points of the Master of Finance is that all of our course content covers the CFA global body of knowledge. So this basically means that students will be equipped to write all 3 levels of the CFA designation upon graduation from our program. So this is something, the exams are not part of the course content, but it certainly will be embedded throughout the course so that you'll be ready to write the CFA designation on your own. Our Master of Finance program is designed to build on any finance knowledge you may already have and elevate that to include some data analytics skills and programming skills as well. So students early on in the program will be learning Python as their programming language that they'll take with them throughout the entirety of the program so that students are equally versed in finance and data analytics as well. This program also includes, like the MBA, 16-week internship that students can use to get their foot in the door. And hopefully our hope is that students stick with the internship after graduation as well. So really the Master of Finance program, again, is not just for business students where you don't have a requirement that students have a business background for this program. Really, if you like numbers, this program is for you. With it being a brand new program, it's been, of course, curated with relevant courses and relevant topics in finance, such as fintech, data analytics, and sustainable finance. And finally, as well, it's one of the shorter degrees out there compared to other Master of Finance programs for just 16 months. So again, starting in September and finishing the following December. This is an example of the program journey that, again, students will go through as part of the Master of Finance program. You'll see that everything really, the Master of Finance program is very cohort based. There's no specializations like there are in the Master, in the MBA. So really, MFin students go through everything together. And with the internship, the main differences here is that the internship is right at the end of the program versus in the MBA, it's in the summer. But for this one, it's right at the end. So entrance requirements for the Master of Finance. So bachelor's, generally we're looking for a bachelor's degree with a minimum overall average of B. GMAT is not required for this program. So as students working with Maple, you won't have to write the GMAT for the Master of Finance or the MBA. Generally, preference is given to students who have passed the CFA level 1, passed the CPA common final exam, or obtained any specific designations in risk management or an actuarial designation. We've listed language requirements here, which I don't think will apply to you guys. And then finally, for international students, so the Master of Finance international tuition is about $55,000 for the full program, and $35,000 for domestic students. Generally, we encourage students to budget at least between $80,000 to $90,000 for your full experience in Canada for the Master of Finance or the MBA, just considering on-campus and off-campus living costs. We do have some residence spaces for graduate students, although it's not guaranteed like it is at the undergraduate level. But of course, there are spaces that you can apply for, of course. For scholarships for the Master of Finance, we do offer some scholarships, again, to strong Master of Finance applicants based on your performance in previous degrees and other criteria. CFA also has some student scholarships available. And there are also some additional merit-based scholarships that are awarded to top in-program students during the fall term. So much like the MBA, the Master of Finance application deadline is coming up quickly as well on March 1st. So if anybody's interested in the program, I would highly encourage you to connect with Maple at your earliest convenience and start your application as soon as possible. And that is everything that I have. So I will stop sharing my screen now. If I know how. Okay. I will. Sorry, one moment here. 1 second. Okay. Did we have time for questions, or did we want to do just kind of answer questions in the chat?
Okay, so I think you can start attempting all the questions in the chat, the one that so you're taking postgraduate questions and Ini can take the undergraduate questions. I let her back in.
For sure. Alright. Okay, I see some coming in about the PhD. We do offer a PhD in management, but that again is not in conjunction. It's not an official partnership with Maple. You certainly have the option to apply on your own without Maple. But we do offer the PhD in management. We do not have a law school at Carleton. So I guess in terms of questions that I'll answer, I'll mainly only answer questions about the Master of Finance or the MBA, just because those are the only two programs that we have partnerships with Maple on. So any other questions would be best addressed to our general graduate inbox. which I can link here. But I'm happy to answer questions about the MBA or Master of Finance. Okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to go through?
Okay. Are we answering their questions in the group chat? Or are we doing that?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's best we read it out for others that may not have access to the group chat and then answer them. Or
Yeah,
what do you
for
think?
sure.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
okay.
Yeah. Sorry, so I think answering them in the chat is probably best, unless you wanted me to address me or any to address anything else.
Okay. This is, I think, whichever way you think is more preferable. I
Okay.
think Ini is back.
Okay, perfect.
I've given Ini co-host access pin. Ini, are you there? Can you hear us? Oh, I think she's having serious network issues.
Oh no, that's okay.
Yeah, but okay, while Katelyn is answering your inquiries in the chat box, I will just tell you a bit about Maple. So
Mhm.
we're a consulting and immigration agency. We can help you process all your admissions and visas to studying in Canada in either a university or a college, particularly Carleton University. And so we're partners with Carleton University, and so be rest assured that when we put an application for you, your application will be given some level of priority over others. And so here we are, we have admission, education counselors, and visa agents. So we process both admissions and visas. You can always reach out to us via Instagram at mapleeducation.ca. Or if you would like to send a mail, you can always send your mails to marketing@mapleeducation.ca. I'm going to leave our email addresses in the group chat so that you can always reach out to us. So email address is marketing@mapleeducation.ca. So if you want to do an undergraduate degree, a postgraduate degree, we just need your credentials. So for undergraduate degree, we need your SSCE results, your WIAC results as well, and you need to have your international passport. And then for postgraduate programs, we will need your degree certificate, your transcript, data page of your international passport. I heard Ini say, or Katelyn say, you necessarily don't need reference letters and all of that, but a degree certificate, transcript, data page of your international passport, very, very important. And so if you have this ready and you're impressed with Carleton University and you want to apply, you can always send us a mail. Okay, so Katelyn, are you done answering all the inquiries?
Yeah, I think I've gotten most of them, yeah.
Okay, I think Ini is trying to join again. Let me see if she has maybe a few things to say before we end the webinar. This has been very, very informative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, it's great to see so much interest.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. And thank you also for clearing out the doubts. You know, a lot of students have been asking about this cap, this student cap, and what it means for them and getting these
Yeah.
attestation letters.
Yeah, I know I can speak to the master's level. I can't speak to the undergraduate level, unfortunately. I know I see some questions there about advice that we would have to students. And I think the only advice that, you know, maybe we could have is to get your application in as soon as possible. There's still a lot of questions about how it will work and a lot of things that we don't know the answers to. So I'd encourage students to continue if you think that you want to, you know, study in Canada. Continue with your application as you would, and then we'll see what happens, you know? So
all right.
hopefully, hoping for a positive and positive response from the government, but there's a lot that we still don't know also. So yeah, I would just, you have great support here with Maple, and they'll do their best. And I know they'll do everything they can to help you with your application and get it through to us. So there'll certainly be a lot of support for you all along the way.
Thank you so much, Katelyn. Ini, can you hear us? Would you like to say a few things before we go? Or are there any questions you want to answer?
Okay. I think Katelyn has actually answered all of the questions, and that's okay. But for undergraduate students, if you're yet to put in the application, I think this is the best time to move first to put in your application, because I mean, application closes in April. For undergraduate students, application closes in April. But I advise that you move very fast with your application, knowing fully well how long this can take. So it's best that you put in your application. And if you have questions, I trust that Maple is out there to answer all of your questions and help you through the process. Yes. Thank you, Eunice, for hosting this presentation. It's a good one. Thank you so much. And thank you, Katelyn, for coming on board to talk about postgraduates or MBA.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Oh, I think you're muted. Oh, Maple Education, I can't hear you. Sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was on mute. I didn't know.
That's okay.
Okay, so I was saying that we're going to make this video available on YouTube. So in the case that you missed out some details, you can always go to our YouTube page to watch, and you can also share to your friends and family. Once again, if you have any more inquiries, any questions, if you want to put your application, you can always send a mail to marketing@mapleeducation.ca. Thank you so much, Carleton University. Thank you so much, Katelyn. Thank you so much, Ini. It's been lovely having you here. I totally enjoyed this session. Hopefully we have you another time.
Yes, definitely. Love
Hopefully.
to do
Thank
that.
you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.